I don't know who Aaron is, but we're about to find out. But not much to really like be obsessed over or like be really affected by. That's how I felt about the book anyway. Oh my god, I've just spotted purple edges, so obviously I'm gonna be happy. And everyone always complains on Facebook groups that the Fairyloot always does purple and pink. Well, I like it, so. Hello my angels, welcome back to another video. My name is Ro and today we are unboxing the January Fairyloot. So this came a little bit later this month. In fact, it also it did not arrive on time for me. Usually I get it on like the first day after dispatch, but it has come a little bit late for me this time around. I was gonna say this year, but it's this month. So this unboxing's going up a little bit later. Some people may have actually got them this time. Usually I try and get it up as soon as possible. Also, I do apologize for wet hair. I am filming this in my break from work in lunchtime, and I don't have very long left and I had to shower. So this is actually super late in general anyway, because it's currently mid-February. Usually boxes like Fairyloot and Illumicrate ship in kind of the third week of the month, so maybe like 20 to the 25th. So it's a couple of weeks late and I don't remember why. Might have been an item, but as per usual I know what the book is going to be, but I don't know what it's going to look like. So this month's, oh, this is a new type of spoiler card, right? Oh lovely, maybe 2022 they are changing up their spoiler cards. It's kind of nice. I do like this print. The theme is monsters within, so I'm not going to look at the spoiler card yet. I would like to try and guess things. But this one has it right on the front. This one already says Scythe Enamel Pin. I love Scythe. It's one of my favourite series. I 3-starred the whole thing. And it says, love remains mortal. So here it is. And if you guys can see that, because it is a little bit like shiny in the light, but I really like this. It's got 2 pins on the back, so it remains kind of secure when you have it pinned in. I love pins. I have quite a few pin flags, so I'm super happy with that. I think the design is really nice. It's been about 2 years actually since I finished the series, so that was a long time ago. More than 2 years actually, maybe 2.5 years ago. I pretty much read the toll as soon as it came out. So, love the fandom and love the, you know, item anyway, so that's a good start. This says Aaron, metal bookmark. I don't know who Aaron is, but we're about to find out. So I quite like bookmarks. Ooh, Fidelis ad mortem. Oh, is this from The Little Mermaid? Is Aaron the name of the prince? I thought it was Eric. Who's Aaron? Is this the Siren book? To Kill a Kingdom? It might be. Sorry, I haven't even showed it to you yet. But here it is. It's quite bright because it's quite a pastel blue. It's really nice. I really like this. And you can see the little kind of mermaid thing at the bottom. It's really hard to look at actually. There we go. It's because it's reflective. It's got his little face. I'm going to assume this is from To Kill a Kingdom. I have actually read the book, but again, this was about 3 years ago, maybe even more. And I do not remember the main characters' names. I think I ended up giving it 4 stars. It was kind of a low 4 stars, more like a 3.5. It was pretty solid. It was like a fun read, but not much to really like be obsessed over or like be really affected by. That's how I felt about the book anyway. Next up, there is a puzzle, which I don't really like puzzles because what are you meant to do with them once you do them? This is V. Schwab. I have not actually read this series or this duology, and I know that Jade really likes it. So this is the art on the back. So that's what the puzzle will be when you make it, I guess. Yeah, I mean, I'll put it together and then I'll put it away, but for me, puzzles do tend to keep kind of like, they just build up and like are kind of just in the corner, and I probably wouldn't do it more than once. I know that's a very personal thing. A lot of people I know love puzzles, so I can understand why book boxes are leaning into the puzzle kind of trend. For me personally, not like the most useful item, but it's the art is very good. Liz Art _ Zardonix did it, and it's very good. And the bookmark art was by ARZ28, who is a staple kind of artist at the moment, and the pin was by Azura.arts. So I really like the designs of everything. The artwork is always really, really fabulous. Just puzzles aren't really for me, but that's fine. This box is already way better than the January box, to be honest. Sorry, January Illumicrate box in terms of items. So this is, oh, a very faded looking. It says, these are the hours of spies and thieves, Lexi Ryan. So I don't know if you can tell. I don't know if it looks better on camera or worse. I feel like it looks better on camera than it does in real life. This is extremely faded. Extremely faded. It's quite see-through. I can see my camera through it. This is too big to be a tea towel, so I assume it's a tapestry. No, it is a tea towel. It's just fucking gigantic. This is the size of a tea towel. It's double the size of a tea towel. Is this going to be useful? I find tea towels of this material not to be super useful because they don't actually dry anything. They sort of move the water around the wet dishes instead. So I don't actually like the material of this. I can't really explain what the material feels like, but it doesn't feel like a tea towel properly, almost. It needs to be more clothy. That's not a word. Also, I am not a fan of these Hollow Vows, have not read it. I skipped that box last year, so fandom not the greatest, but you know, that's personal preference. The design itself just seems to be a very kind of generic calligraphy design. It's not really anything special, in my opinion. Maybe the stuff around the edges is a bit more intricate, is a bit nicer, but the actual calligraphy itself is quite generic for bookish quotes kind of thing. Again, it's just gigantic. I don't really know what to do with it. Probably will be one that I am going to get rid of, to be honest. However, the rest of the items, they're not actually that bad. If you didn't know, I've started a new series called Book Box Battle, where in my... I read both books from Unlimited Kate and Fairyloot, and I rate them out of 5, rate the kind of embellishments they have, and then I rate all of the items versus each other in terms of usefulness, prettiness, displayability, that kind of thing. So the vlog for the January boxes will probably come out sometime in March because it takes me a bit of time to like get around to doing the books with all the books that I have to keep on top of regardless. So, oh, okay. We have a trinket dish. And it's James Herondale, who I think is from the one I haven't read, which is Lady Midnight, Darkest Hours, is that it? I don't know. This is similar to their trinket dish that they did for Addie LaRue, so they are making this kind of into a series. There we go, you can kind of see it in the reflection now. I like the little heron behind him for Herondale, or the Shadowhunter, are they sigils? Oh my god, I haven't read a Shadowhunter book in so long. Shadowhunter runes, I think they're called, around the edge. I actually really like this. I think there might be a little scratch on mine, but it's not that much of an issue, to be honest. Oh, a couple of scratches. There's like two or three scratches on mine, but they're so minimal, like you can't see it unless you really, really look. So I'm not too bothered about that, to be honest. Yes, so this is actually an official artwork because Cassie Clare is like kind of big now. Obviously she did the Shadowhunters movie and she had the Shadowhunters TV series as well. So everything's kind of trademarked at this point. Similarly, I think Sarah J Maas's stuff is trademarked. So they have to work directly with her to get something in the box. So that's pretty good. I actually quite like that. I'm getting more trinkets ever since, you know, I've started working with Anna Louisa. So I actually really like the trinket dishes. They're not too bad, and you can get little like stands to display them if you don't want to use them as trinket dishes. In terms of items, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I think that might have been the last item. Other than the tarot cards, and now I know that they're gonna be from Red Rising because the last ones were. This to me looks like Severo and either Darrow or Cassius, but I would assume they'd put Severo and Darrow together, to be honest. Here we have Severo, and I think that's going to be Darrow. I would assume that would be Darrow. Again, though, I don't feel like this artwork is very obvious that it is these characters. Severo is a bit more obvious, but Darrow? Is it even Darrow? I mean, I can look at the spoiler card now. Cassius. See? I thought it might be Cassius. How are you meant to fucking know? It's just a blonde man. I don't know. Severo is obvious. He has a very distinct look. But even last month's ones were not obvious at all. I could not even tell that it was from Red Rising. So they didn't have sigils on their hands. They didn't have any kind of qualifying features to be from that world. So although the art is beautiful, absolutely not saying anything about that. The art is amazing. It's just like, it doesn't scream Red Rising to me. But I do really like Severo's one. I think that might be my favourite one so far. Okay, so now we're moving on to the book. Oh my god, I've just spotted purple edges, so obviously I'm gonna be happy. Oh, that's cool. Okay, so we have like a letter from the author, and I quite like this artwork. I quite like seeing, I mean, I don't know if it's modern day. I thought this was like a YA fantasy, but I really like kind of like seeing people, like fancy characters drawn in a modern way. I don't know if that's what this is, or if they actually are in a modern world. I didn't actually know if it was urban fantasy. And obviously you get kind of the bookmark, which matches the spoiler card art as well. And you get the fairy scoop where you get an interview with the author. That's kind of usual every month. And this one also tells you what is like exclusive about this. So we have an exclusive cover, artwork on the end papers, signed by the author, 2 colour stencil sprayed edges, and foil embossing on the hardcover. Ooh, I really like the edges. Okay, here is the book. It is Only a Monster by Vanessa Len. I've heard some good things. Oh, the edge is a bit fucked there, but it's so slight. I can bend that back into place, to be honest. But I don't know if you can see, it's literally so small. Okay, so we've got purple edges, and this is the stenciled edge. I quite like this. I think it's quite solid. I think it's quite, you know, it's nothing super intricate, but I think it's quite nice to have the black on top of the purple. So yeah, exclusive cover. They have end papers, it said. Oh, I love these end papers. Oh my gosh, look at this artwork. That's amazing. Are the other ends the same? Oh my god, and there's a different end paper on the back. Jesus. Ooh, and I also really like this. Oh my god, and there's, oh my god, okay. Hang on. There's so much to look at. Okay, so here is the end papers at the front, which I assume is the main character and her love interest. And then we have, oh my lord. I really like that artwork. I really like that. And then we do have this foiling on the front, which I think the main guy is there. And then I don't know what that is. It looks a bit like the girl. So it might be like the guy and the girl, but I quite like this as well. Now, usually Fairyloot does art on the reverse of the dust jacket, which they haven't done this time, but they do have this art on the end papers. What the fuck? That's so weird. The gold foiling bits on, I don't know if you can see that. You can see the stars through the back. That's really strange. Like the foiling on the cover is kind of see-through through to the other side. That's really weird. Not an issue though, I suppose. And I do like this kind of spine work. I love the purple as well. Obviously purple's my favourite colour, and everyone always complains on Facebook groups that the Fairyloot always does purple and pink. Well, I like it, so I'm actually super pleased with this. This box I think actually might win against Illumicrates this month. We will have to see what happens when it's in terms of reading the actual book. In this book, we have a girl who is sent to stay with her late mother's eccentric family in London. 16-year-old Joan is determined to enjoy herself. She loves her nerdy job at this historic Holland house. And when her super cute co-worker Nick asks her on a date, it feels like everything's falling into place. So then a Good Samaritan attempt gone wrong sends Joan spinning through time, and her life begins to unravel. Her family aren't just eccentric, they are monsters with terrifying hidden powers. Nick isn't just a cute boy, he's a legendary monster slayer who will do anything to bring them down. Oh my god, this actually sounds really good. So as she battles Nick, Joan is forced to work with the beautiful and ruthless Aaron Oliver, heir to a monster family that hates her own. She'll have to embrace her own monstrousness if she's to save herself and her family, because in this story she is not the hero. If this isn't polyamorous, I think I'm going to be pissed. Because they specifically put a picture of 3 of them as the main thing, and it's on the other end paper. This actually sounds right up my alley, like actually sounds really good. I think I had heard things about sort of the arc coming out, and I wasn't super interested. I hadn't heard it was like through time, and I hadn't heard like there were 2 maybe possible love interests. I mean, hopefully polyamorous, hopefully. If anyone can let me know if it is. I don't really care about it being like a spoiler. Like I don't think like polyamory is a spoiler, I'd rather know. It seems like there's possibly a partly 2 like double times enemies to lovers. If Nick is the monster slayer and she is the monster, but then also Aaron Oliver is like heir to a monster family that hates her one. Double times, you know, the monstrous enemies to lovers. That seems amazing to me. It is also properly signed as well, which we didn't have last month, so I'm quite happy about that. And I like the little ship they've got going on there. I don't know if that's a Hodder and Staunton thing, or that little ship there is cool. So yeah, I'm actually super excited to read this. Not as excited to read the Illumicrate one, but maybe Fairyloot will have a really good month for me. I've actually been thinking about changing just to book only if they manage to get it kind of rolling, possibly even cancelling, because I've only read 3 of the books last year that Fairyloot did and I gave them all 2.5 stars, which is crazy to me. Obviously I'm not saying they're bad books, I think it's just I am growing out of YA and maybe not enjoying the tropes as much as I used to, but this seems really good. I am actually very excited to read this, so maybe we're back on the up. Okay, thank you guys for watching. Again, apologies that I've got wet hair today. If you enjoyed, please do give this video a like below. Leave me a little clock emoji in the comments, just because it's got a little timepiece on the front. Leave me a clock emoji in the comments if you were here but you didn't really have anything to say but wanted to let me know that you were here. Make sure you subscribe to get all the future content from me in your inbox. All of my links are in the description, including my Patreon, and if you don't know what goes on my Patreon, then this is what you're missing out on. Hello. Speaking of my Patreon, I want to give a huge shout out to everyone at my Daisy tier. So that is Becca, Meg, Rachel, Lisa, Lydia, Mercy, Sarah, Tori, Liv, Adinda, Celeste, Britt, Marloose, Kay, Danny, Hannah, William, Chris, Andy, Lauren, Kate, Kendra, Ashley, KW, Frog, Lynn, Amy, Rye, Jenny, Hattie, Katie, and Heather. Thank you guys so much for all of your support, and I'll see you in another video. Bye!